Welcome to the Industry Insider, brought to you by PromoCorner. Each week, promotional product professionals Meg Erber, Jeff Franklin, and Stephen McFadden, along with special guests, will discuss industry news, trends, and events with a focus on educating the promotional products industry. The Industry Insider, the nerdy news you need to know.
Welcome to yet another exciting episode of the Industry Insider, your promotional products podcast where you can get all the nerdy news you need to know about. My name is Jeff Franklin, National Accounts Manager with Headwear USA, and I'm joined today by three other lovely folks. But of course, before we get to them, we got to tell you about our fine sponsors for today, our good friends over at Greater Pacific. Look, they're a full-service creative agency. Their experience comes from the experience of thousands of custom projects completed for clients for over 2 decades with experience or expertise in the promotional products in promotional products in the advertising specialties industry, custom OEM, product design, custom project management, CPSIA compliance, product testing, and full service logistics. They've done it all and become more effective with every opportunity. So Greater Pacific creates the ultimate manufacturing experience for their clients. You got to go visit them at greaterpacific.com today and tell them the Industry Insider sent you. Stephen, you kind of messed up the whole shtick last week. You didn't have a book at the beginning of the podcast when we were live at Expo. So I don't think it's a thing anymore, my man.
It is a thing. I'm going to make it a thing. Just because I had one live trade show doesn't mean.
I mean, you could have been reading like the Expo directory or something in the morning. When
Big
we
miss.
did our podcast.
It's just a huge miss on my part. It's a new year. I'm trying a new thing. We'll see if it sticks. So, what's interesting is on our board in our office, one of the things was like, "What do you want to work on this year?" And a lot of people wrote things, and I wrote, "Get better at following." And I just had like THR and just left it because I was like, that's pretty much me. That's how my life works.
That's funny. Well, it looked like you were on the same page of that book as you were the first time you did it.
No. I had the Bears book earlier. That was my first. This is the new one that I got when I won in the trivia game. And I was just learning that the screwdriver was invented before the screw. How crazy is that? Totally useless.
The screwdriver, like the drink, right? Is that what we're talking about?
No, the actual hand tool. Anyhow,
why would you make the screwdriver before a screw? I mean, I'm very curious now.
I don't make these rules, but I just read the facts and present.
Meg Erber, how are you doing today?
I'm doing pretty good. This weekend, I was just so exhausted, recovering. I think I just slept. From not being in Vegas for a couple of years, I forgot how dry your skin gets. And that was a rookie mistake. Like, I should not have brought my retinol cream or whatever. My face was like so dry. I have never in my life been that. Like, my skin was like.
You didn't neti pot your face?
I wish I could. I literally had Aquaphor spread all over my face every night, and then I started breaking out. So there's that.
Baby butt cream all over your face. That's wonderful.
It was amazing.
Well, look, we all sound healthy, so that's wonderful. It doesn't sound like anybody gets sick. We all got together in person, and nobody's sick. That's amazing.
I know.
Wow. Huge win.
Yeah. Well, we're joined today by a very special guest, Mandy Clay with Walker Clay Promotions. Excited to have you. And look, we're here to talk about the pitch, which was like PPAI, their whole new thing for, I guess you'll call it education, right? It was part of the education. But Mandy, it is customary for us to give our special guest a good 3 to 4 minutes to introduce yourself. So maybe how you got started in the promotional products industry and what you've been up to since. So take it away.
Oh, perfect. All right. My name is Amanda Clay. I am the newly named president of Walker Clay. So that was a change late last year. My sister and I took over ownership in Q4. I don't remember the exact date, to be honest with you. I want to say it changed like 6 times. So the day that we signed the paper was sometime in Q4. That's about all I can remember after being away last week. My brain's still fried. I've been in the industry for about 20 years, but I am 4th generation in the industry. So my grandfather started our company in 1956, but prior to that, my great-grandfather and grandfather both worked for Brown & Bigelow. So I have been in the industry for quite some time, and I used to make calendars. This one right here, in our office, living room, people's houses, wherever we could put this together. I had a plastic binding, but this is our own calendar. And then we started.
Man, maybe we should have brought Amanda in for the calendar episode.
I know.
Maybe.
Yeah, I know a little bit. We used
That was
to
the
like
first
shoot
thing.
the spirals across the office when we were like little to see who could shoot the spiral the furthest.
So
That
question
sounds
for you,
like a fun
Mandy,
game.
spiral or stapled?
The newer ones they have like the metal, but the older ones, you see that? The
Yeah.
older ones had the plastic bindings that you like, and we had to do them by hand on the old machine. You had to individually insert the spiral but if you put it on backwards and then played with the settings, you could literally launch that thing across the warehouse. So that was always a fun thing to just start launching spirals. Why not, right?
If there's no videos, it didn't happen.
We have an old spiral machine. Maybe I'll see if Abby will video me shooting spirals later. I gotta go find a plastic spiral. We'll get her on that. It'll be on TikTok later today.
Yes.
Awesome. So Meg and Mandy, you guys were actually both on the pitch. So really excited to get sort of your view from the experience and what you took away from it. But I mean, is there anything before we launch into the topic? I mean, does anybody have anything to add from the conversation we had last week while we were live? You know, since that was on Wednesday and there was another day of the show. And is there anything that maybe Steven, you were walking around the show? Is there anything else that you saw?
You know, it's interesting. I think it took me until I got home and looked through all the pictures to realize if it was a good show or not. I know that sounds weird, but like I knew the best part was obviously the people, which we talked about. I don't know that I had a ton of ideas like on the spot when we were live last week, but looking back now at like the 1,000 pictures that I took, I'm like, oh, there was a lot of things. It's just hard to remember them all. You know, like when you're like, say, hey, tell me your best thing about the show. It's like the people, you know, it's like I don't remember the one specific item at the one booth. So, but there was a lot. I don't know if you had the same feelings, Mandy, did you kind of have the same thoughts about the show in general? Like good overall. And it was like nothing kind of hit you in the face, but then there was some good stuff, you know, it wasn't.
I definitely see that, but I think vendors are just bringing in stuff like so often now that there's no like January launch. We used to wait for January. We're like, ooh, they're gonna release all the new products.
Yeah.
And now we're seeing like, you know, every couple of weeks, like something new just pops up. Yeah. So I feel like it was just nice to kind of like touch and feel some of the items that I might have seen in pictures that I haven't sold yet or hadn't had a sample of. So that was kind of cool. But I'm with you. Like I took a ton of pictures and I was like, why did I take a picture? Oh, it was more project driven for like each particular.
Yeah, exactly.
client.
That's pretty interesting. So are you noticing then that a lot of suppliers are changing the way that they're releasing product because of COVID? And
I'd like to add to that actually. So I want to hear what she says, but I want to add to that.
Go for it, Meg.
Okay. I don't think that ever actually changed. I think people were just, I think we always did that, but people would just get so pissed when things weren't available on day one of January show. Like you're showing it, but it's not ready. And a lot of suppliers have gotten rid of their big catalogs, which kind of sets it in stone. Like, hey, if it's in the catalog, it's going to be in stock, which was never really the case because it never was. It just never was. But I know in October, a lot of the apparel suppliers, the promotional hard goods, we were bringing in products early to kind of beat that rush. And at Promotions East last year was a lot of new products. So yeah, I don't know if that's ever actually changed. I think it's just more obvious now because, oh, look, new product launch, mid-year launch, but we're just not doing the hard catalogs. It's not set in stone. You don't see it ahead of time because we're not shoving it down your throat. But we're like, when we do have it, we're like, look at this bright, shiny thing. It's so new and cool, and you need it.
I know over the past couple of years, too, without having shows, suppliers have gotten really good at finding other ways to let us know what's coming out. So I think just the readiness of the information and the way that the websites work now, where there's really good sorting tools and inventory management tools, you know, you're seeing what's new, but you're also seeing what's available so much quicker than we used to. You know, if you go back to the 2019 show, it's like, you know, like you said, Meg, I would say probably 10%, 20% of the new products you couldn't even get until the third quarter, you know, of that same year. You know, so we would do the same. We would create a trend presentation and go show it to people and they're all excited. And I'm like, well, I hope you still like it next year, because that's when we're gonna get it. But yeah, no, it was good. It was really, really good. I have zero complaints about the show. Well, very small complaints about the show.
Boy.
But I'm just kidding.
The last thing I'll say about the show is that I think we were anticipating how Thursday was going to be, and I was like leading into this. I'm like, Thursday is traditionally dead, but Tuesday and Wednesday were so jam packed that I just assumed that Thursday was going to be equally the same. It was I don't know how it was for you, Jeff, but it was pretty dead in our booth on Thursday. We had like a skeleton crew. I was like, how am I even still awake, alive, moving, talking, etc. But I felt like the distributors, it was the same thing. I was like, oh, they're just gonna come in late. Last night was rough.
Yeah, so I had mentioned the first day of the show, we had the most scans that we've ever had in a single day at any trade show, even from years prior. The second day, we actually met our expectations based on the numbers from the first day. And then Thursday, I mean, you always kind of figure the third day of a show is going to be relatively dead. We still had some pretty good traffic come through, and the majority of the traffic was, from conversation outside of the trade show floor. You may, drag people into the booth or set appointments, when those people may not have even come to your booth before. So I would say the quality of that last day was really good for that reason, because there was like some really good opportunities that came through the booth because of that. But yeah, it was definitely slower the last day than the other days.
So yeah, let's jump into the pitch, because I'm gonna tell you, I'll tell you my side very quickly, and then Mandy, I want to hear how you got roped in. But it was really funny, because now that I can talk about it, it was the day before we had Dale Denham on our podcast a few weeks ago, and Lindsay Davis reached out to me, and she was like, just say yes, you'll be great, blah blah blah. And I was like, sure, I'll look at it later. Didn't even think anything of it. Then Dale Denham was on our podcast the next day, and he was like, kind of pumping up the opening ceremonies, but he's like, I can't talk about it. You're just going to have to see. And I was like, ooh, I want to be part of this. And then I didn't realize I already was. And then I was like, all right, I need more information. How long is it going to be? They were like, okay, it's going to be about 10 minutes. Now, in my head, I'm like, I have to fill 10 minutes, which usually is not a problem. I like to hear myself talk, clearly. But I was going to be on stage doing it in front of all these people. So I was like, all right, what product do I have? I could possibly be interactive for 10 minutes. And then I immediately was like, quick flip. I got this. Oh, I have a better idea. I'll bring Henry in. I'll start talking. I'll have him come up behind me and like choke me out. I'll throw him. It'll be crazy. It'll be so much fun. We'll win. And then I did a video. And then they brought us into a meeting, and they were like, okay, you guys have 3 minutes. And I was like, all right, all that's out the window. So that was fun. And then, all right, I'll leave it there. Mandy, I want to hear how you got roped in and what that was like in your thought process about.
Well, hold on. Before Mandy goes, I just want to basically point out that you essentially cheated, because you brought somebody from Shark Tank onto the pitch.
I knew there was going to be a you cheated. I thought
it's a cheat code. It's a mega cheat code.
You definitely
that wasn't the only Shark Tank person. Wasn't City Bonfire also on Shark Tank?
I'm pretty sure.
Was there another Shark? See, look, Mandy, this is why we have you on, to really fill the void that Meg leaves.
And I'll be honest, I don't know much about this, because I didn't know about it till the day before. So
we need to actually bring some light to that too. Hopefully PPAI is watching and is able to promote these kinds of things a little bit different. Because Stephen, you brought up a really good point. You don't do your own registration, so unless it's promoted outside of registration, how are you supposed to know that that's going on unless you maybe look at the schedule or directory when you first rock up? But even then, it's by chance, and I'm sure there was a registration and it may have booked out or sold out. I don't know. Like, how does that work?
Well, you're not even on Instagram, Stephen. I mean, you're on it, but you're not active on it. And that's where I saw all of the marketing for it was on Instagram. So that's where I saw it. But again, I wasn't allowed to market it. I wasn't allowed to do anything. I wasn't allowed to talk about it. So that was really, really hard for me. It was really hard.
You did a good job, because I had no idea who anybody was that was going to present. So everyone did a good job.
Good. Except when I came out on stage and you heard my name screamed,
"Yay, Megan!" And then it wasn't you talking, and I was like, what other Meg do I know? And then I'm like, okay. And then they said quick flip, and I'm like, she's got to be on stage with him.
Yep. Yeah. So Mandy, how did you get asked to do this, and what did you know about it going into it?
So very much like Meg, I got an email and it was from Anne Stone, and she was like, "Hey, I need you to do something at PPAI, but I'm not going to tell you what it is. I just need you to say yes." And I was like, "Okay, sure." And she's like, "I can't tell you what it is. We're going to have a meeting about it. Ask me a good time for the meeting." And then I saw the people on the meeting link, and I was like, Danny, Memo, Johnny, me. What did I sign myself up for? And at this point, I still have no idea going into the Stu meeting what is going on. So I really knew nothing up until, November. It was late that I didn't know a lot going in. I just said yes blindly.
So who were the other contestants and how many were there? You just said Danny and Memo and like who all?
Well,
They
those
were
are
the
the
judges.
Yeah.
They were the judges.
Oh, okay.
So
Four
the
judges. Go ahead.
4 judges and then 7 contestants on the show.
And for
Nice.
those that weren't there, like myself, can you kind of tell me like what the show was all about? Like, was it a
Sure.
product pitch or was it a supplier
So I
pitch?
have it right here. Yeah,
Yeah.
I have it right here. So, okay. So basically the pitch was the Shark Tank meets The Voice. There was 4 judges on stage and they had their chairs turned around so you couldn't see who the contestant was that was coming out. There was a lot of smoke and fog, and I will say I was like so nervous leading up to me walking out on stage, and then the minute I ran out on stage, I could feel the energy from the crowd. I was like so excited, and then I see all the fog, and I couldn't see not even an inch in front of my face. So I'm running out, and I stopped. I'm really excited to see what that video looks like because I thought I'm gonna run right off the stage, and that's gonna be so bad, and I'm gonna hurt myself, and So I know, you know me, you guys know me, so you know that would have happened. So I was like, and I saw an X. I'm like, I don't even know if I'm supposed to stand on that, but it's safe. It's a safe zone. I'm going to go there. Okay. So the contestants, Therabody, he was in booth 1049, Raining Rose. Oh, so Therabody had like a neck massager, right, Mandy?
Yeah, it was like the mini therapy.
Yeah, and it was really
so
cool.
it is a product pitch, correct?
Yeah.
Just so
It is a product pitch. Yep.
So we got to hold, like, I could see that they gave us a sample of the product, and then they presented it behind us, so I could hold it and see what it was.
Yeah, like they came up behind them, I think, and we're doing the massage. I was like, oh,
yeah, I got massage, like start off the
Yeah.
day, so that was nice.
You had Therabody, then you had Raining Rose, you had Ben, and he came out with a DIY lip balm kit, which was really cool.
Mhm.
Then you had Trailform. I believe that was the chair.
That was the cooler and the chair.
And a book bag, right? It was like
a backpack that was a cooler and a chair. Yeah.
It was really neat. I think it was just it was very expensive. I think I almost like a $200 price tag. I don't know if that was net on a fee or what, but it was nice. I was like, oh, I want one of those.
Yeah.
Then you had Bevy. So this girl was so cool. I was like blown away by her energy and her personality. She used to be in this industry. I don't remember which one, but where she carried beverages. I don't know if it was waitressing or bartending or whatever. And it was like all these beverage holders that were getting thrown away. And she invented this reusable beverage holder. And it held like, I don't know, 10, 8, 12, I don't know, something crazy. And it was reusable and everything fit in there and they didn't come out. So that was a good one. And then you had city bonfires, which was amazing. I've been seeing them on TikTok. They were at ASI Orlando. I actually want one.
I want one too. Agreed.
And Maple Ridge Farms, I don't know what they did. I just saw food.
There was like a huge charcuterie board with food, and I was like, I'm in.
Yeah. Well, side note on Maple Ridge Farms, we were nominated for our Pyramid Award for the episode that they were on for our chocolate tasting.
Oh,
so
congrats, guys.
Thank you. So yeah, they're awesome no matter what. And then we were the last contestant. So a lot of pressure, and you guys know Henner. He could have carried that by himself. So in my head, I put the pressure on myself that if we lose, that's 100% on me. So that was weighing on me, and I was making myself so sick. But
well, if you would have fell off the stage, it would have been an automatic win.
Yeah.
So I mean, you know.
So Mandy, can you kind of tell me about how did you guys decide? So I've pictured The Voice where each of you have to turn around only for ones that you want, and then like you take them on your team. But then I think Shark Tank, and I think everyone's already facing, the stage, and so then you ask questions and figure out who has the best business or product. So how did that work?
Yeah, this was more like an education session. So we were to turn around if we liked them. We didn't turn around if we didn't. And then at the end, the audience got to vote. So
Okay.
Every product that went up, you could like the audience, it was interactive. They would text and say if they would buy it. So you did see that for every product.
Okay,
And then at
cool.
the end, they all got to vote for their favorite. So we didn't actually have to choose anyone, which was kind of nice. Pressure was off us to let the audience be the person to pick one of the companies, but it was kind of fun for the audience too to kind of be involved, and to see it up on the screen was kind of fun to see where everyone rated it.
As judges, did you guys get to speak to them at all, or give some influence to the crowd a little bit?
If we liked it, we were. If we did not like it, we never turned. So
Gotcha.
Were there any products or any judges that didn't turn around? Because I didn't see that. My nerves were like, I kind of blacked out for the whole thing, so I don't really remember.
For me personally, the one I didn't turn for was the bevy. And I did go look at it later. So when I saw it, and on my back's to her, it only had like cans in it, and they were kind of hard to get out. And when she was pitching it, she was mentioning like the casino host using it, and I'm picturing like the 12 different style cups that have to go, and not all of them are like hard cups. So like as you go to, I mean, those cans were stuck in there.
Yeah.
So if there was like a draft beer that you're walking around with on the floor, like I didn't know how that was going to come out of this container. So I couldn't see it for like different size things. So the only thing I saw it for was cans.
Got it.
So for me, I was like, well, it's canned.
She was she was the scariest judge, not gonna lie. She was the scariest. Just because I know her and I know she's tough, but she's fair. And I was like, it doesn't matter the relationship. She might know me all day, but if she didn't like my pitch, she was not gonna turn around.
But I saw the item later, and then I saw that it could fit other items. But like because I couldn't see that at the time, like that was where I was like,
So,
I don't.
I have to know. So did other people not turn around for certain things as well, or was it just everybody turning around for every product?
There was a few that didn't turn around for specific, like for ones.
You need that.
I think
you need that a little bit.
Like Johnny not turning around because he was still trying to put together the chair. Like he was like, I'm not turning around till I can put together the chair, and he's like flinging it all around. And I'm like, this guy came out pumped with his backpack, and just the same amount of energy as Meg's team came out with, and it's like, okay, I want to see what this guy's presenting because he was so into it. So I'm like, I want to see him put it together. And Johnny's like, I'm going to figure this out without turning around.
So other than just a gimmick, I mean, was there a point to turning the chairs around or not turning the chairs around, especially if the audience was choosing the winner?
I think it was to kind of help give them direction. Like,
because
remember, not everyone in that room has been in the industry for a long time. So like
your expertise on whether it's a good product or not. I got you.
Kind of makes it fun too. Like otherwise,
all right, Mandy, spicy take of the day. All right, since the audience got to choose the winner, who was your winner? And it better not be Meg because she's on the podcast. I can remove Meg from the room really quickly if you.
Yeah, go ahead and do that, Jeff. Let's see how that works.
You can say it. You can say it. Remove me. Go ahead, Jeff. And I'm okay.
You can stay. I like City Bonfires. I'm gonna have to say. I just thought newer. I've seen the quick flip before. I have them with my logo. So for me, that was something like I've used and I've done before. Whereas City Bonfires for me was new. While I had seen them on TikTok like Meg, I hadn't seen them like in the promo space. So for me, I probably would have gone with them, but I still like Quick Flip. Have one. Got them with my logo in the background.
Mandy, there was actually the hoodie that was at your chair was for you. Did they send it to you, or did you get to take it home?
Not yet. So yeah, they took all the stuff back. I'm assuming it's probably going to get sent, but
because it was your size, it had official judge on it. Like that's for you.
I did notice it had official judge.
That's cool.
And, that
is pretty sweet.
It was a nice touch, I will say.
Yeah.
I was like, they even personalized it, so that was smart.
Right. I mean, it was nice to see all the decorating areas. You know, it was part of the pitch, right? And we kind of fed off each other, and it was so much fun. I will say, once I got the nerves part of it out of the way, and people are like, you do this stuff all the time. I'm like, it doesn't matter. I care because I get nervous, and it's confusing between nervousness and exciting. A lot of bodies and minds can't understand that, and I feel like when you're nervous, you're not prepared. So I guess I will say I was excited because I talk about this product all the time. We even had Heather on the show like during COVID. So yeah, and I think one of the highlights of my show was really getting to do that and really get to show my personality and get out there. And it was so much fun. I mean, just walking on that stage and feeling the energy from the crowd. So one of the things that the crowd did get to vote on is after each product, you would say, would you have turned around for this product? And it was like 94 or 96%, whatever, yes. And they whatever, 4 or 6% no. I kind of want to know who that little 4 or 6% was. That means 400, 500 people, 20 people coming for you guys. I'm going to change your mind. That's how competitive I am.
I don't know if I like this strategy.
Are you going to publish that list?
You know what? I'm coming for you. I got the list. I saw them though.
Literally going to send an MMA fighter after you if you don't like our product. That's Meg's strategy.
So listen, Dale, if you guys do this again next year and you're looking for a judge, I'll volunteer. I'll be a judge.
I know. I would actually judge too. I would rather be on that side of it. I think it's a lot for me. For me, just the pressure be off me.
You know, if so being fun. A rising star is a prerequisite, I have to take my name out of the nominations. But maybe I have a new path of something I can look forward to. So we'll see.
You've been nominated, and you've got a great sign behind you that, look, I don't know if you know this or not, but you're kind of a big deal.
I have to make my own awards. I don't know if I ever told you guys this. Did I ever show you guys this? My neighbor got me this. It's a fake Rising Star award that they did as a joke for me. So
hey, that's more than I got for being a rising star, Steven. So
This says honorable mention-ish.
Mention-ish.
And then it says maybe next year.
You've been nominated. All right, so what else can we take from the pitch? Anything else, or are we good with that? Was it worth doing? I mean, should they do it again?
Oh, so I will say the one thing that I didn't even, because my mind was so tunnel vision on just surviving and getting through this, I didn't even take into consideration the amount of traffic that was going to draw into the booth.
That's a good point.
Amount of traffic. And it was like, show us the quick flip, show us the quick flip. Because I couldn't even tell my company that I was doing it. We only brought what we would normally bring, which was enough. We had it on 2 different sides, but I think next time if I ever did it again or whatever, I would want to make sure that we had the support marketing wise at the booth, to be able to support whatever I was doing, my endeavors. But yeah, we had enough. I think we could have had more, maybe something on display a little bit better because man, droves of people came in after that, wanting to hear about it, wanting to see about it and talk about it. And I think even the leadership at NASA was like, oh, that's great. Congratulations. And then by the end of the day, they were like, oh my God, I heard it was amazing. It was like, nice day for them.
I don't understand what the secrecy was because when we had Dale on, it was in November, if I'm not mistaken. So it was only 6 weeks removed from the show, maybe. Well, I mean, what was the secrecy?
Was on Meg's side because they didn't want the
they didn't want anyone to know
who the contestants were, not necessarily the judges. I think
they kind of have a whole surprise secrecy. This is their first inaugural opening ceremonies. They wanted to blow it out of the water, a surprise. Come see who's going to be doing it. Otherwise, maybe people will be like, yeah, I don't like Meg. I see her every week. I might not come. I know Meg's the contestant.
I completely agree with you, though. If you're pitching a product and you're not allowed to share that information with your company to have promotional material at the booth itself, even post the pitch, you guys should have been doing quick flips with the pitch logo on it as a handout or something.
A giveaway. I know. And I guess I just didn't know the extent of the NDA. I just signed it and I was like, all right, I won't say anything, but it's hard. It was new. Next time. So people that are doing it next year, remember that there is an NDA, but be prepared for after the pitch for the influx of customers. And Henry had his own booth and he said the same thing. He's like, it was just nonstop traffic for 3 days. Hey, I saw the pitch. I saw it either in the room and they were also streaming it on the TVs outside. I will say that PPI will be sending us the clips. I know SNS is excited to share that, and I'll be sharing it as well. And the judges did such a great job. They were fair, they were funny, they were entertaining, and they picked some really good people too, 4 different personalities. I'd have actually never met Memo, and I had just met John in person at the promo kitchen mixer, and I forgot that he was a judge, and he was just like, "Oh, it's nice to meet you," you know, da, da, da. And I was like, "Oh yeah, you too," and I just completely forgot. And thank God, because in my head, and I knew that secret, I would have been like, "Oh my God, I can't talk to you," and been so stupid. But that's because it's me, and I can't hold
like,
in.
when you grabbed me at Burger Bar and you're like, "Hey, do you want to be on the show?" Okay, bye.
Yeah. Okay, bye.
Okay, bye. I don't want to say anything else. Catch you later.
Yeah. But yeah, it was a good,
right.
overall great. It was fun. If you missed it, you missed quite the entertaining. I think PPI did a great job. And the last thing, the day before, we had to come in and kind of rehearse it. And that's when the nerves set in, because you actually got to see how professional it was done. It wasn't just like a podium.
I heard you guys were like in the back practicing on each other. Like they're out back, they're nervous. So we were off to the side, so we couldn't see who you guys were.
I did my so when I get really, really nervous, if I have to speak or if I have to do something, a presentation, and it's like bonkers nervous, something I learned in my jiu-jitsu days, like when I was competing, my instructor told me, like, hey, go out, just pop out 10, 15 push-ups. I know this sounds stupid to most people, but like, if push-ups are easy to you, then do something different. But like, if push-ups are hard, your mind, your focus goes to like pushing out those push-ups, and like it completely forget what's on your plate, you forget all your nerves and you're able to release that nervous energy into something else. And I did that, and it was like, I did it right before I went on, and like 5 minutes before, and it like helped me get rid of my nerves.
But then you're sweaty and you fall off the stage.
Well, the sweat part, that's happening regardless. But,
those lights were hot. When you were up there, the lights. Oh.
Yeah, you couldn't see the crowd at all. And I will say, halfway through, when the fog started to clear, I saw Mark Graham in the first row, and I was like, all right, I've got somebody I know I can like focus on and talk to, and it was good. It was golden.
Funny.
Yeah.
Steven, any other questions for the pitch?
No, I need to put it on my radar for the next year for sure.
You might want to just start doing your own registrations.
Maybe. I feel like I keep missing everything. But you know, it is interesting because like when I go, and I'm sure Mandy, you're the same, and you both are probably the same, but like I've got tons of meetings lined up, so I try not to add a ton of stuff. But big events like Promopalooza, now the pitch, things like that, in my head, I just would have thought that those would have been pushed so heavy, I would have run into them before I got there, you know. And so hopefully there's a way to keep the secrecy of the contestants, but like not the secrecy of the event until we get there. But if not, I will do my own registration.
Yeah,
I mean, I don't disagree with you. It is actually the way that it's set up. It is actually a lot easier for one person to register your whole team than it is for each individual to go register themselves. So, yeah. So
cool.
yeah, I think if there's a different way to promote it, I think.
Yeah.
Did we ever touch on the fact, and I know we did last week, but there was a winner of the pitch, correct? And Mandy, how much did it cost?
Cost to be a winner?
For Meg to, how much did Meg?
I'm sure Meg bought.
I'm just kidding.
Oh yeah, Meg bought me for sure. I didn't even know she was on the show, but yeah.
So actually, like I said, I blacked out on stage, so I didn't really hear anything that happened. But apparently, I won something. I think I won. From what I was told, I won a 4-day stay in a suite at Mandalay Bay.
Sure. That I cannot confirm or deny. So
I have no idea. None.
What?
Yeah. So
I'll take it. We'll take it. That would be fun.
I mean, all right.
But yeah, so if I won, that's what I won, I think. Again, I blacked out. Didn't know there was anything to win. I think I got some street credit, and I'll take it. I'll definitely take it.
That's awesome.
I thought you just got bragging rights, but I mean,
that's
if you have
perfect.
a suite, we know where the party is next year.
Yeah.
Well,
sweet.
Listen, I know this podcast is all about the pitch, but since we're talking about winners in Vegas, I just want to note that I actually finished second place in the promo shop and Legacy Bowling Fiesta.
Ooh, nice work.
So, and we should have finished first. Me and Carly Lowe, we were on a team, and look, there wasn't the greatest. It was oh dude, Brooklyn Bowl, that place was awesome. Really great joint. But yeah, it was one of those private parties that promo shop and Legacy put on. But ultimately, they split it up 2 different floors because there's like, I don't know, 20 lanes on each floor or whatever. So we were upstairs and then the other people were downstairs. And basically what it was that the top team from the top and the top team from the bottom were going to face off. Well, we didn't know when we were supposed to stop. So we ended up bowling like 3 games upstairs. Our arms were like dead tired by the end of it. And then they were like, oh yeah, come downstairs. We're going to do this championship thing. And yeah, Meg, go ahead. That's all right. Look, I'll face you at a bowling alley anytime you want, buddy.
Anytime. I'll even do it left-handed.
I'll do it left-handed, and
All
I'll
right.
still whoop.
All right. You guys heard that.
Me and Mandy will watch.
We'll watch. We'll
Fair
video
enough.
it. For
All right. Well, listen. If there's nothing else on the pitch, I would also like to mention the Promo Palooza, since we didn't get a chance to talk about that at the show. For any of you guys that didn't go, you should definitely check it out. That is by far the best promotional product party, if you will, that has ever been put on. Even better than Promo East and their the pool after dark. I mean, that was probably second in my book as far as best, but this trumped it. I mean, just the fact that you're down on the field, you're in the locker room, there's food and beverages on the field, great conversation, great networking opportunity, and it's just those kind of stories that really make things, pretty awesome.
I missed it.
See, I went last year, so we actually had the full field last year, which was cool.
I heard that, and I was a little disappointed, but you know what? I'll blame you guys as to why we didn't get the full field this time, because from what I heard,
wait. There was a reason.
Okay.
Was it?
There was 2 reasons. One is there was they wanted us more spread out last year because of COVID stuff, right? And 2, they were able to bring food down to the field this year because they had part of it blocked off.
Okay.
So that was actually a benefit that we got this year.
No, that's just a used car salesman's pitch. I would definitely prefer to have the full field and to be able to throw a football on the field. That would be
they didn't do a lot of footballs last year. They needed to do a lot of footballs.
I heard people were throwing stuff.
To bring a football.
We were throwing shoes.
They were throwing shoes, water bottles.
Yeah.
Whatever it takes.
Whatever it takes.
I'm sorry. I was really excited about it like all year. And then Henner was like, hey, I'm having a jiu-jitsu seminar. I'd like you to be my guest. I was like, done.
All I can say is I took a selfie in front of Derek Carr's locker, because it's the last time it'll ever be his locker.
Aww.
It's just mean.
It's not mean. Look, be better.
Be better.
You both said it.
Hey, maybe he should take up bowling. I don't know.
Maybe he'd have a chance. Mandy, it was so good to see you, and thank you. Thank you for being a judge. Thanks for being just so awesome. And you're making waves in this industry. Walker Clay's making waves in this industry. It's an honor to know you, and can't thank you enough for coming on and being our guest this week. So appreciate you.
Thanks for having me. Appreciate it.
Awesome.
Yeah, it was definitely a lot of fun. But look, if you guys enjoyed it, it was brought to you by our good friends over at Greater Pacific, and they are a full-service creative agency. Their experience comes from the experience of thousands of custom projects completed for clients for over 2 decades, with expertise in promotional products in the advertising specialties industry. They've got custom OEM, product design, project management, CPSIA compliance, product testing, and full service logistics. They've done it all and have become more effective with every opportunity. Greater Pacific creates the ultimate manufacturing experience for the client. So go visit them at greaterpacific.com today and tell them the Industry Insider sent you. Mandy, I echo Meg's sentiment. It was awesome having you. Thank you for joining us, especially on short notice. And looking forward to maybe having you on again at a later date for a different topic.
Perfect. Thanks so much, guys.
All right. Take care, guys. Until next time.
Thank you for listening to this week's episode of Promo Corner's Industry Insider. For more great content from industry thought leaders, including podcasts, blogs, and videos, visit promocorner.com.